Whippersnappers, it's Tortimer the Grey. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Minecraft Jurassic World Edition. Today, this is a very cool view. I love watching Typhoon hang out in the lake here. That's awesome. Alright, I hope the contrast is enough on YouTube that you guys can actually see that too. That's a cool shot. But today, I'm going to be showing you guys some of the progress we've made since the last episode. Last episode, we were working on a lot of these viewing areas. This area as well as several others in the park, and so I've gone ahead and I've been playing around with a lot of design ideas. I think I found one I'm reasonably happy with. It's nothing like super spectacular or anything, but I think it'll be good enough, and if we decide we want to tweak it in the future, we can go ahead and do that. But this is the entryway that we made last episode. So we kind of, instead of accessing that, because that's an older viewport, that's one of the first ones, well, not one of the first ones we did, but it's one of the ones we've done a long time ago. I was gonna say, where's Typhoon? So we did this, but we used to access it. There was just like a hole in the ground here, just kind of with a weird looking little gazebo thing above it. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. And so last episode we're like, okay, that looks dumb. What else can we do? And over at the Ichthyosaur closure, we'd kind of put in an entryway a lot like this. I was like, you know what, that is so much better. It's very similar to what we did over at the Spiral Mountain, so let's do that. So we did that. We connected up with the path. I think like right here is where the original staircase was. So we came down and we connected up with that. It come down and it connects up into the dome there. I do have, so down here, at least in the aquatic ones, I started using a little bit of mossy cobble or mossy stone brick as well, which works pretty nicely. But let's go look at some of the other ones that we've built since the last episode, give you guys kind of a feel for what I'm doing. Pretty happy with how these have turned out, actually. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to be coming up with, but I think it worked out pretty good. So we'll take a look at that. Been pretty busy doing all of this work, as well as hey, it's a Rhinocorn. Nigel, no, Ellie. This is Ellie. And Nigel must be back there. They were both kind of congregating on the scratching post, so I put in a little bit of legs, but I put it on tether here too, so maybe they wouldn't be like on top of each other the whole time. Alright, so we did that one. We also did this one. Or I did this one since last episode. So this is the new entrance, I think. Yeah, I got it filled in. But this is the new entrance to the Leopleurodon viewing port. So same sort of thing. We're using the stone brick. Kind of just have this smooth stone slabs just to break things up. And then I've got this, decided to go with this design for the stadium seating. I think I really like it. And so we've got some stadium seating over here. And then on this side, we've got a couple of seats, but then we also have some exhibit kind of stuff. These things, this is a Leopleurodon ribcage I had. I forget what mod these come out of. It's an older mod that I've got. Maybe the statues mod? I think I had the statues mod, and these are part of that. So the showcases, I built a couple of these, and so we've got those in there. It's a little glitched, so like, if I relogged, this would close, but it's a little glitchy as is. And then we've got like a little Leopleurodon skeleton in here, a little Leopleurodon egg sac there. So just, you know, we've got, and then obviously we're able to look out, and if we had any Leopleurodons, which we will be remedying soon, then we'd be able to look out and see them out there. All right, now. Let's go over to the Ankylosaurs. Let's look at them real quick. And then we're going to go over and actually we should, before we do that, I actually have something I need to do over on this side of the park anyway, so we can go ahead and do that now. Putting the Elasmotherium here kind of completely took away my shortcut to the to the lab. If I want to go to the lab, I got to go all the way around now. Alright, but we're going to come into the lab really quickly because I actually just remembered that I need to prep something for a future episode. Something in the future is coming down the line, but we need to go ahead and... Raresaurs, not what I'm looking for. Stego, Raptor... Aha! T-Rex. We're going to go ahead... This guy's different, right? Let's do that. Alright, so we are going to, these are already 100% DNAs, so what I need is to get some minerals going here. Any minerals from that. There we go. Eats up a ton of my steak, but that'll be alright. Let's go ahead and... We've got a decent cow population back at the village still, so we should be able to get that going without too much trouble. Alright, so let's go ahead and get these going. Thankfully, these cultivate pretty quickly, so I'm not too worried about us having to stand here for 20 minutes. Let's go ahead and get these buckets filled. May not even need more nutrients for this next one. Looked like it was a little bit fuller, but let's see once we get the... Oop. Oh, need a little bit of a punch. All right, so those are gonna cultivate here. In fact, this one might be even 50%. All right, so we're getting very close. But why, Tortimer, do you need 2 new T-Rexes, might you ask? And you'll see is the answer. It's a surprise, but I figured we'd go ahead and get them taken care of here because I do need them kind of going at this point. So. You'll have to check back and see, but we're very close. Come on, 90%. Yeehaw! There we go. Alright, T-Rex egg there. And 60%. Come on, you can do it. Giddy up. I don't know why I'm going all southern on it. Come on. Mr. Science Cow, you're a tad in the way. Alright. 80%. We're getting close. We're getting close. 90. There we go. All right. Perfect. Oh, I'm out of yeah, I ate all my steak. All right. Well, we'll live on potatoes for now. Thank you, gents, for your time. All right. So yeah, we can't really. I guess we can go through this way, so we can check on them. We got Nigel here, Ellie there. So Nigel's the bigger one. Ellie's a little bit smaller, but they're cool creatures, and I think they like this enclosure. We do need to winterize this a little bit because they are Ice Age creatures. At least that's what we're going to be calling them. So. Want to get some more snow and ice and stuff down in here at some point, but that is not what we're going to be doing. Ooh. Yikes, a little bit of a lag spike. Not what we're going to be doing today. So, let us head over. And yes, I got Pokeballs, so we can, well, actually, might even put these guys down. Yeah, we can do that. That'll be fine. These guys down right here for now. Doesn't really matter. We'll capture them back up once they're done. But we're in the Ankylosaur enclosure now, so using the same kind of design techniques as we used everywhere else. We've got this kind of bench seating here that I showed you guys kind of what I was thinking last time. And then I kind of finalized it. We saw it down in the Leopleurodon enclosure, and then we've got the little Ankylosaur skeleton there. We had an egg. Actually, while I was working on this, I found this egg. So it seems like they will breed, but they don't like lay the eggs. It just becomes like an item sitting there floating, and so like it won't hatch a ton of Ankylosaurs, which I think is perfect. If that's how breeding works now, that's fantastic, because I'm not going to get overrun with Ankylosaurs or any of my other dinos. But if I happen to see, they lay them like chickens, so it's just like the little egg item floating there. And I saw that while I was in here working, I ran out, grabbed it, and we were able to make good use of it. So, yeah, so we've got this little thing here. Now, obviously, I put these down, and usually these hatch quicker than the fossils and archaeology ones, but they still take a little bit of time. But yeah, so might still do some work with the ceiling. I haven't really decided. Probably will though. It just kind of depends. I did, at least as I was going through, I made sure that like the majority of the ceiling was made up of the smooth stone. Anywhere where there was like dirt, like looking at this, there may have been like dirt coming in here. I at least took out the dirt so that it would feel like it was... Oh, there we go. Okay, so we've got 2 new female T-Rexes, it looks like. Okay. But they are tame, so that's fantastic. Now, let's go take a look at the Stego enclosure real quick. Stegos, I made another showcase. I happen to have a Stego skull, so I went ahead and put that in here. Just a cool little informational thing. I made up a Stego egg. We didn't have one of those lying around, but we made one up. And then you've got the seating in here. I think it's a nice little space. It's pretty much what I envisioned from the beginning, so I hope you guys kind of like it. But I love the extra vantage point you get here. You can see Olive there just kind of chilling. I love being able to be on level with them in this way. And then you can see Eggsy and Spike over there, and Buffy's right there. So yeah, everybody's happy and healthy, which is fantastic. And I love this little enclosure thing. It's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right. Last thing, let's quickly look at the Ichthyosaur enclosure because I've kind of changed my mind, and I'm gonna kind of leave it up to you guys a little bit. I think there's a couple of things I'm gonna need your feedback on at some point today, but let's head over to the Ichthyosaur enclosure. So the original plan, at least I had it in my head. I'm not sure if I really laid it out for you guys necessarily, but the original plan I had in my head was to have viewports on both sides. Well, in fact, let's go down. Have viewports on both sides of the lake here. So we would have one here, and obviously you can see we've got the seating and everything down here. And then I kind of made this bridge, and I was going to go ahead and make a similar viewing area on the other side. I got really sick of making viewing areas, if I'm being honest. I got really sick of making viewing areas, and I think I decided, so like we can see the exterior is pretty good from here, from there. We've got pretty decent vantage points on them from underwater. What I was thinking that might be a better idea, as we kind of talked about, oops, getting night, as we kind of talked about with the Leopleurodon enclosure, which we may still do, was instead of putting another viewport under the water on this side, we might actually, since this area out here is still kind of empty, we might actually, like on this side of the lake, build up some amphitheater seating or something similar to what we're using down there, but multiple tiers and things like that, and put some actual outdoor amphitheater seating. So if we wanted to do like a dolphin ichthyosaur show or something out here, that might be a better suited way to do that. So that's kind of the thought. I haven't made any final decisions on that, obviously, but that's kind of the thought. But yeah, so that's kind of what I've been working on since the last episode. Obviously been working on more than that. We're going to go take a look at the rest of that now. But that was a lot of work, getting all those viewing areas done, figuring out exactly what design I wanted it to be, all that jazz. It's been a lot of work going into these episodes, and unfortunately, well, I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate. Building in episodes isn't always the most exciting thing anyways, so I don't know if you guys are too downtrodden that, like, you're just getting update highlights and you're not really having to worry about too much of watching me build. Maybe you guys are enjoying that. I don't know. You guys will have to let me know in the comments down below, but we're spending so much time updating you on the progress I'm making that we don't really get to make a ton of actual progress within the episodes. We're already at least halfway through. But we come through here, the aquarium. We're actually, well, we'll talk about that. Ooh, well, hey there, little buddy. Oh gosh, whoa, oh, crikey! I didn't even see that creeper. Whoops. No, well, all right. I'll have to fix that path, I guess. And this dirt probably came out of here. It's a very weird way for a creeper to explode. Anyway, whew, now that excitement's out of the way, let's head over. Do I still have a bed in the visitor center here? Hold on. No, I probably moved it to the ACU tower. Let's head over there, and we will sleep this night away, because yikes. Getting killed in the middle of the episode is not always the path we want to take. So yeah, let's head over to the ACU tower and sleep the night away very quickly. I do think in the time that I was spending over here, and I need to go do a little bit more investigation, at least for some of the details, but I think we have lost one of our Deinonychus. I think Ash is gone. Let's sleep real quick though, and then we'll take a look at him. I think just being loaded over here, I don't know if she climbed out, because there is potentially some areas where they could climb out, or she probably was Ash the male. I don't know. Let's sleep though real quick. But yeah, I'm pretty sure, and I haven't done like a super thorough investigation, but I'm pretty sure one of our Deinonychus is gone. And I think I narrowed it down to Ash. So we may have another addition for the Memorial Garden. I'm honestly not sure, because these guys are capable of escaping potentially. They can actually climb, which is why we have the different design of the enclosure here. Well, we can just go in here. So we've got Misty here. We've got Misty there. We've got Cinder here, and Ghost there. So Misty and Ghost were a pair, and then it was Cinder and Ash were a pair. And so, I mean, theoretically speaking, I think that she could have potentially climbed out like up here and gotten up there. What I think is probably more likely is that she climbed and was taking fall damage and got herself killed. Probably, but I don't know. It's possible she escaped, but I'll have to do some investigation. If we decide we want to add her to the memorial garden, we can do that, at least until she is recovered. But I'll need to figure out like what episode we hatched her in, and when I kind of know she's been gone for a little while. I was hoping she'd turn up, but she hasn't. So, all right. I've been working on the hotel. Let's get into this real quick. I've been working on the hotel, and we're not going to make a ton of progress on it today, but I've been working on some stuff that's all I want to show you guys. Get your feedback on a couple of things as I'm getting into it. But yeah, so the base level is done. The upper, breezeway is done, and then I've started even working on the rooms here. I don't know what this hotel is going to end up being, but let's pop in here and I'll show you guys how I've been doing so far. We come in here, and this is the lobby. So we've got the reception desk here. Went for like a kind of a modern design. I don't know. I kind of like it. So we've got the spruce logs back here, a wall of wood. That's a pretty modern kind of thing. And then we've got the this pink archway thing, I guess, over top of it. And then we'll put I need to remember how to make them, but get the collapsible carpenter blocks, which we used over at the Badlands Barn Grill to keep that villager in. We put those down, and it's like a thin layer, like it's barely even visible, but they view it as a full block, so they won't get out of it. So we'll do that. We also have a nice aquarium here in the center, which I think I'd shown you guys. It's a double-decking aquarium, and it's visible both here in the lobby. If you cross over from the lobby, you enter into the hotel restaurant, which this is going to be the Lamb Before Time. So that's going to be this restaurant here. So we've got some nice hardwood floors in here. We've got the kitchen back there, which I haven't done. I got the checkered kitchen floor or whatever. I think I'm going to put in like a freezer and stuff. I'm going to make it like a real kitchen, which I think is going to be cool, but I haven't gotten quite that far yet. And then I put in this guy. Now, Lambton, that was just the default name, but although I kind of like it, given that this is going to be the Lamb Before Time. That's going to be kind of the fancier restaurant in the park. But he is obviously the host. This is kind of the hostess desk here, where you come in and you're like, they come out and they're like, okay, I'm going to put you on this table or whatever. And so that's that guy. But this was a custom NPC, and I haven't really done much with him, besides just put him in there, because I wanted to make sure that that looked right, and I think it does look okay. But one of the things that I would really want is I want to get you guys into the park. Now, for people who are donators or Patreons or whatever, they end up in my Time Shot Donator Hall. So they get to be part of that series, end up in the Time Shot Donator Hall. Any of you guys who have ever donated, you guys know that you've got a monument, or will have a monument. I don't really have a Donator Hall at the moment, but it's in the process of being constructed and is almost done. But there's that. But on my Patreon now, there is a tier where if you donate a certain amount or pledge a certain amount per month, then you would get an NPC in my Jurassic World. And I'd love for you guys to be like the people working in the park. So instead of Lambton here, maybe it would be one of you guys who work the park. Or maybe you'd be a reception desk, or maybe you'd just be a guest wandering around the park. With the NPC tool, you can actually set them a path and everything like that, and they'll wander around a certain area. It'd be really cool to get this park populated with some NPCs, but I wouldn't want them to just be like random NPCs. I'd really love it for you to be you guys, because you guys are all such a big part of this park, naming all the dinosaurs, helping me with ideas as we're doing enclosures. Like, oopsie, like one of them was just climbing up that tree there, and I'm worried that they might take fall damage. I don't really know how to fix that. I might just need to go by and splash them with health potions occasionally, but you guys are such a big part. I mean, like, I talked through this enclosure with you guys a bit. You guys helped me name all the creatures. You guys are a big help in the overall design of this park. and so I'd love for you guys to be a part of it. And so if you're interested at all in being a part of the park, the link to my Patreon is in the description, in the description down below. But anyway, so I'm playing around with custom NPCs and things like that a little bit. We're in our, I don't know if you guys have actually seen this since it got filled or not, but we've got our T-Rex head swimming pool, which was one of the first things I thought of when I started doing this, and I knew I was going to do a hotel. I was like, okay, we need to have a swimming pool that's in the shape of a T-Rex head. So I used the fossils, or the JurassiCraft. There's one of the JurassiCraft fossils. In fact, I think I've got one in the part in here. I stole a lot of the same design elements from like the visitor center. I wanted to make those feel like they were pretty similar. But yeah, so I used one of these fossils as the template, obviously, to get a nice, good-looking T-Rex head. One of the things I do want you guys' help with is I've got two different kinds of glass here. I wasn't really sure what was going to look good. I didn't want to use the cyan like I did over at the visitor center because I've got other colors going on here. I didn't really want to be clashing. So I've got light gray here, and I've got black here. The dark gray didn't really stand out enough to be worth even using. Just plain glass panes is what I originally had in here. I think you guys may have seen that at one point or another. And it stood out too much. White stood out a little too much, I felt. So right now I've got light gray and black in here. And what I use here is going to be used for like, if we can bounce out here for a minute. Like, so, you know, we're going to have windows up there, you know, around there. This whole column here is going to be glass. So whatever we decide is going to end up being used all over the hotel here. But let's go in here. We'll come in, we can check in. Over here is going to be the elevator bay. I need to figure out, so I was looking at different mods, because I thought I had found a cool, easy, you know, clean elevator mod. It seems like there might be one. I don't know. I'm going to have to play around with things a little bit more. But when I went back and was researching for it, I was like, I couldn't find the one that I thought I had found, and it was this whole ordeal. So the goal is to, over here, going to be an elevator bay. Hopefully we don't have to just use ladders. I guess we could set up something with like colorful portals. I don't know. But then otherwise you could come in here to the Land Before Time. One thing I do want to talk, or ask you guys about too. Do I have it? Yeah, so what we've been doing all over the park is like, if we need, can we even get a view of them here? Anywhere we've needed like benches or chairs or anything like that, we've kind of been using basic, you know, Minecraft stuff. So we've been using these for everything, and like in any of our restaurants and stuff, like we can, well, you can barely see over there, but we've got, you know, the little colorful stairs that we're making with the Carpenter. It's just, you know, Carpenter stairs with colorful clay in them, glass top, you know, pressure plates on top of a fence or whatever. So we've been doing our best with what Minecraft plus Carpenter blocks has to offer. Now that we're in the custom NPC mod, now I haven't actually looked at this, but let's see. In fact, set item. Chair. Nope. Bench. No. Huh, why is not a... I've got this crafting guide to help me look up recipes, but none of the custom NPC stuff seems to be popping up. Okay, so backtracking a minute then. So basically we've been doing our best with what kind of Minecraft has to offer, using the stairs as chairs and things like that. But now that we've got the custom NPCs mod, I was in creative mode, kind of planning out stuff for the hotel on my creative world, and I noticed that there's a bunch of furniture and stuff in that custom NPCs mod. You can get actual chairs and actual benches and actual tables and things like that. So I was wondering, would we want to convert all the stuff that we've done in the park currently into custom NPC mod stuff? Most of it's like just wood stuff. We can't really get the colorful, like, it'd be awesome if I could get custom NPC plus Carpenter blocks so I could like recolor any of those to the things that I wanted, but I don't think that's really going to be a possibility. So it would be like, it would be woods or something like that, as opposed to our colorful seats and all those. But it's certainly an option. Also, if we come up here, so this is going to be a second deck for the restaurant. So they'll have seating in here. I was thinking they might have seating out here. What I actually think we'll probably end up doing is probably put like a little tiki bar or something right here, so that'll or a little grill. I don't know, something that'll service the pool people. Pool people. That sounds bad. I wonder if you can only... I'll have to look into that. I was hoping that crafting guide would have the custom NPC stuff in it. I didn't even imagine that it wouldn't. But anyway, so they'll have indoor seating, and then they'll have the upper deck seating here, and the aquarium is here as well, so that's pretty nice. You've got it on both levels. Downstairs, you'll notice that like it's kind of split as we split the main level, but you'll get to see the aquarium for both sides, so I think that's pretty neat. You'll be able to see it from the lobby and from the restaurant, as well as upper deck. Let's quickly... Although I don't have ender pearls, do I? No, I don't. Okay, so it's not really going to be quickly, but let's say I was seeing... Yeah, so there's some sturgeon and stuff down there. But so basically, I would get some of these sturgeon or alligator gars or whatever. We'd get them named, and then we'd get them into the aquarium there. I don't think we need to do anything terribly fancy with that, but it would just be cool to have a bunch of fish swimming around in here. So that's what we'll end up doing. But yeah, so we've got this breezeway up here. We'll have, you know, seating areas and actual seating for the restaurant and all that kind of stuff up here. Maybe, I don't know. We'll figure out some cool stuff to do up here though. And then we're gonna come up here. And come into the upper deck of the hotel. And obviously, once I figure out what I'm doing with the elevator, or if we're going to have to just use ladders or colorful portals or whatever, we won't be coming up here via dirt staircases. But then on top of that open breezeway down there starts the residential areas of the hotel. And so this is like one floor, and there's going to be 4 rooms per floor. I had 8, but they were just too small. I figured, nah, you know, this is Jurassic World or Jurassic Park. You know, we're gonna assume that these people are you know, can afford to be here, and so we'll give them a little bit bigger suites. But each room, so we've got the rooms here, and so we'll have like a double bed with some nightstands and some dressers or whatever, basic hotel stuff. It'll be a standard hotel room. Somebody had mentioned in the comments at one point, like, "Oh, Tort, you need to get bathrooms and stuff around the park." And honestly, using the since this is a Minecraft park. We have to worry about the Minecraft universe and what is necessary in the Minecraft universe. Using the restroom is not a need of the Minecraft universe. So, none of our hotel rooms are going to have bathrooms. We're not going to have bathrooms anywhere in the park because it's just not something, it's something that, like, we would need, but this is a Minecraft world. Minecraft people don't do that. So, we're not going to be wasting space on any of that. There's not going to be any bathrooms or anything like that. It's just going to be these nice little suites that come out, and they'll have a nice little wraparound deck. Each room will have a nice little patio balcony like that. And they're going to be decorated pretty nicely. I'm still kind of formulating what exactly I want that to look like. But I've got these Carpenter, so this is a Carpenter garage door, which we've got one down in the Tylosaur enclosure viewing port under the lake. But what I think we want to do is, do we have materials? Yeah. Let's take a quick look. Do I have... I don't have any glass. I don't have anything I would need. What I've kind of viewed though is like, so, actually we can just do this and then I can break it up later. So let's use dirt. Basically, with how this works is you can do this, and so we would probably do something kind of like that. Which would, with wool probably is what I'm thinking. We would do something like this with wool, which would be kind of like the curtains, and then this here, I really not have any glass on me right now. Gosh darn it. And then like this would be glass, so it would look kind of like this, you know, sliding glass doors that you have on balconies and hotels and things like that. But then they could just punch it up and it would, you know, it'd go up and down or whatever. So functionally, it doesn't function just like a sliding glass door, but I think when it's closed, it'll look similar enough that we'll be all set. And so yeah, and then, you know, starting, you know, up there, I don't know if do I have a staircase up to that level still? I might have broken it down. Yeah, well, or I didn't break it down. I built up. But I'm a little short on materials right now, which is kind of why I halted. I'm especially running low on blue I need to go get more lapis to get some blue dye going for the clay and all of that. But this is kind of the idea. So this floor will be something different. This is just, I haven't decided what I want the floor to be here. I think it'll probably end up being some sort of floor, standard floor substrate, but then I'm going to put carpet on top of it, would be my guess. Because most hotels have carpet in the hallways. So probably it'll potentially be something nicer. Maybe we'll even do more hardwood out here, but then it'll be largely carpeted. So if we have a 5 wide hallway like we do here, you know, these 3 center ones are going to be all carpet. But we'll figure that out. I think there are potentially, let's check. I think potentially with the Carpenter mod, or Chisel. Yeah, so we've got access to some fancier carpets here, which I want to play around with. I actually kind of really like that dark blue carpet. That's kind of neat. But I'll have to figure out something that works with the color scheme and everything like that. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for today, guys. We got you guys updated on some stuff. Showed you guys the progress we made on the viewports. I got a lot of work still to do on the hotel. Probably won't do any more of this with you guys on camera. Probably will just knock it out. I've been in a position lately where my wife has been doing a lot of homework in the evenings because she's in the middle of a master's program. And so whereas I normally don't get to spend much time in the office at my computer in the evenings, she's been in the office on her computer doing homework and things like that in the evenings, which has allowed me to be in here without reprimand, and as such, I've had more time to just kind of be here, kind of dinking around. I can't be recording or streaming or anything like that because don't really want to disrupt her, but I can at the very least be tinkering around in the park. So that's why I've been able to make even as much progress as I have made. Yeah, we'll continue to tinker on and hopefully get this place completed by episode 100. I know you guys are like, oh, don't worry about it. It's not that big a deal, but it's something like we want to do. Well, anyway, we'll talk about what's happening after episode 100 later. But thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Tortimer the Great, and you guys have been great. If you have any suggestions on any of this stuff we talked about today, I know there were several. Specifically, if you think, now I don't know if you guys are really familiar with custom NPC stuff, and unfortunately I can't show you because the crafting thing doesn't have it. I know if I have not enough items or something, I would probably be able to look it up, but not enough. When I tried not enough items for the crafting stuff, it was like you click on it and it just gives it to you. Like, it was cheaty. It was really cheaty. Even if you're in survival mode, it would just give it to you, which I couldn't figure out how to turn off, so I'm not using that. But I've got this crafting guide, which I'm surprised it's not showing up in here. I don't know if you can only cheat those in. I honestly don't know. But if you think that we should potentially, switch all of our seating and stuff around to the custom NPC stuff, where it's actual seats and things as opposed to our closest proximity of benches with the carpenter blocks, then let me know what you think about that, and also what you think about the glass. I think, well, honestly, I'm not really sure what I'm leaning towards at this point. I think there's upsides to both, but whether you think the black glass here or the light gray glass here looks best for the hotel, let me know what you guys are thinking, and I will get some progress going between now and the next episode. Next episode is probably going to be, I don't know, but it'll be something fun. It'll be something fun. We might be working on the tugboat. We might be working on, who knows? Who knows what we'll be working on? I don't have the sheet in front of me, and I don't want to go digging around for it. And then, oh, wait, I might have the sheet in front of me. Wait a second. Next episode. Ooh. Well, it could be either the boat, or we also need to put a gate at the dig site. So, to kind of block, since this is not really public area for guests, we want to put in a gate here that'll keep them from being able to get out there. And we might use something similar here because the back of the park is not completed yet. When we do the download, we don't really want people wandering their way into that. But yeah, anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I've been Tortimer the Great, and you guys have been great. I gotta go put those T-Rexes down somewhere so they can age up a little bit for plans unknown to you guys. But I will see you guys all back here next time. Make sure that those likes, comments, subscriptions for me, guys, and I'll see you then. Have a good one.